Killswitch Engage.
Killswitch Engage is an American metalcore band from Westfield, Massachusetts, formed in 1999 after the disbanding of Overcast and Aftershock. Killswitch Engage's current lineup consists of vocalist Jesse Leach, bassist Mike D'Antonio, guitarists Joel Stroetzel and Adam Dutkiewicz, and drummer Justin Foley. The band has released 6 studio albums and 1 DVD. Their latest album, Disarm the Descent, was released on April 2, 2013. Killswitch Engage rose to fame with its 2004 release The End of Heartache, which peaked at number 21 on the Billboard 200, and was certified gold by the RIAA in December 2007 for over 500,000 shipments in the United States. The title track, The End of Heartache, was nominated for a Grammy Award in 2005 for Best Metal Performance, and a live DVD titled, Set This, World Ablaze was released in 2005. Killswitch Engage has performed at festivals such as Wacken Open Air, Reading and Leeds Festivals, Ozzfest, Download Festival, Rock on the Range, Rock am Ring, Mayhem Festival, Monsters of Rock, Pointfest, Heavy MTL and the Australian Soundwave Festival. The band has sold over 4 million records in the US and has been widely referred to as one of the founders of metalcore, and one of the notable bands for new wave of American heavy metal.
History. Early years and debut album 1999 to 2001.
Killswitch Engage formed from the two metalcore bands, Overcast and Aftershock, during the late 1990s. After Overcast broke up in 1998, bassist Mike D'Antonio jammed with Aftershock guitarist Adam Dutkiewicz. Dutkiewicz recruited guitarist Joel Stroetzel from Aftershock, and vocalist Jesse Leach of the band Nothing Stays Gold, who were signed to a record label owned by Dutkiewicz's brother Tobias Dutkiewicz, who was also the vocalist in Aftershock, to form a new band, Killswitch Engage. The band's name is derived from an episode of the television series The X-Files entitled Killswitch, written by William Gibson, who gave the episode this title after meeting the industrial band Killswitch. Click. In 1999, Killswitch Engage recorded a demo tape containing 4 tracks, including Sowerborn, Killswitch Engage's first song. The demo tape was first released at the band's first show, opening for melodic death metal act In Flames, in November 1999. They released their self-titled debut album the following year. Although initially the album was not a financial success and did not land on any charts, it attracted the interest of Carl Severson, who worked at Roadrunner Records at the time. Severson handed Killswitch Engage to several Roadrunner representatives. Mike Gitter, a talent agent of the company, contacted D'Antonio, attended several of the band's shows, and offered the band a recording contract with Roadrunner. Realizing Roadrunner had the resources to promote and distribute Killswitch Engage releases, the band accepted his offer, declining several offers from smaller labels.
Alive or Just Breathing 2001 to 2004.
For a brief time in 2000 and 2001, ex-Overcast guitarist Pete Cortes joined Killswitch Engage, but left in 2001 when he became a father. Killswitch Engage began writing new material for their second album in November 2001. Mixed in January at Backstage Studios by producer Andy Sneap, the album was titled Alive or Just Breathing for lyrics in the song Just Barely Breathing. A music video for the single My Last Serenade increased the band's exposure, and the album peaked at number 37 on the Top Heat Seekers chart. Following Alive or Just Breathing's release, which was written and recorded for 2 guitarists, the band decided to expand and become a 5-some. Dutkiewicz moved to guitar and former Aftershock drummer Tom Gomez filled in the vacant drummer position. After Leach was married on April 20, 2002 and began touring again, he fell into a depression. Leach left the band a few days before the band was meant to play a show and sent the band members an email telling them he had quit. D'Antonio said in an interview that after 3 years of hanging out with a dude, and considering him a brother, to just get an email was a little bit harsh. the band immediately started to search for a replacement vocalist and found Howard Jones of Blood Has Been Shed. Jones disliked the band's sound when he first heard it. He commented, "I was like, May. I come from hardcore and dirtier metal, and Killswitch sounded so clean. But the more I listened to it, I realized there's some really good songs here." After hearing about Leach's vocal problems, Jones contacted the band and was accepted as the replacement. Philip Labonte of All That Remains tried out for lead vocals but lost to Jones, who had to quickly memorize 7 songs for his debut at the 2002 Hellfest. The new lineup played on the Road Rage Tour in the United Kingdom and the Netherlands in 2002 with 36 Crazyfists and 5.0. Touring continued through the New Year's Day, and in 2003 the first song to feature Jones, When Darkness Falls, appeared on the soundtrack of the 2003 horror film Freddy vs. Jason. Following the 2003 Ozzfest, drummer Gomez left the band because he wished to spend more time with his wife, to pursue his band Something of a Silhouette, and because he was tired of touring. He was replaced by Justin Foley of Blood Has Been Shed, and Foley's first tour with the band was the MTV2 Headbangers Ball in 2003.
The End of Heartache 2004 to 2006.
The End of Heartache was released on May 11, 2004, and peaked at number 21 on the Billboard 200 with 38,000 sales in its first week, and it also peaked at number 39 on the Australian Albums Chart. The album went on to sell more than 500,000 copies in the US and was certified gold on December 7, 2007. The album received mostly positive reviews, with John Caramanica of Rolling Stone calling the album a stunning collection, retaining much of their signature musical brutality. Eduardo Rivadavia of AllMusic commented, "Riff upon riffs are piled sky high into each number that follows. It's the unpredictable rhythmic shifts used to build and then relieve internal pressure that fuel the Killswitch Engage power source." The End of Heartache became the main single for the movie Resident Evil, Apocalypse, and in 2005 the song was nominated for Best Metal Performance for the 47th Grammy Awards. In late 2004, The End of Heartache was re-released as a special edition album, with a second disc featuring various live performances, a Japanese bonus track, and a re-recorded version of Irreversal. During the summer of 2005, the band returned for Ozzfest, and on November 1, 2005, a live Or Just Breathing was re-released as part of Roadrunner Records' 25th anniversary. On November 22, 2005, the live DVD, Set This, World Ablaze was released, which contained a live concert at the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts, an hour-long documentary, and all the band's music videos. The DVD was certified gold in the US on April 8, 2006.
As Daylight Dies 2006 to 2007.
Killswitch Engage played the Reading and Leeds festivals in August 2006, having already played Australian dates without Dutkiewicz, who was suffering from back problems and needed corrective surgery. On May 23, 2006, the song This Fire Burns was released on the WWE Reckless Intent album. The track was intended to be the new theme song for WWE wrestler Randy Orton. However, it was scrapped and later became the theme song for the WWE Judgment Day 2006 pay-per-view. This Fire Burns is formally used as the entrance theme for WWE wrestler CM Punk, along with his stables The Straight Edge Society and The New Nexus, from 2006 until 2011, and was later re-released as This Fire on the As Daylight Dies special edition. Recorded in 3 months, As Daylight Dies was released on November 21, 2006 and peaked at number 32 on the Billboard 200 chart with 60,000 sales in its first week. As Daylight Dies proved to be one of their biggest albums yet. It also entered the Australian Albums Chart at number 29. Mixed by Dutkiewicz, the album received mostly positive reviews. Don Jurek of AllMusic called it a top 5 metal candidate for 2006 for sure. Decibel magazine contributor Nick Terry said to call As Daylight Dies addictive would be an understatement. That it outdoes its already impressive enough predecessor could almost go without saying. Cosmo Lee of Stylus magazine commented the album is astonishingly badly sequenced, even though it praised the album as being less emotionally heavy-handed, and a lot more fun. As of November 27, 2007, As Daylight Dies has sold more than 500,000 units in the US. The album's first single, My Curse, peaked at number 21 on the Hot Mainstream Rock Tracks chart, and is featured in the video game Sleeping Dogs, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, Burnout Dominator and Burnout Paradise, and is available as downloadable content for the Rock Band series. The Arms of Sorrow peaked at number 31 on the same chart. The band's cover of Dio's Holy Diver, originally recorded for a Kerrang! Compilation album titled High Voltage, peaked at number 12 on the mainstream rock charts. Early in 2007, the band had to cancel 3 of its European tour dates with The Haunted due to Dutkiewicz's back problems. He required emergency back surgery and was replaced on the tour by Soilwork guitarist Peter Witches. Due to Dutkiewicz' back problems in early 2007, he was replaced by Damageplan and the Mercy Clinic frontman Patrick Lachman during the No Fear tour. Dutkiewicz recovered and was able to finish the No Fear tour, and the band began filming its video for As Daylight Dies' second single, The Arms of Sorrow. On August 6, 2007, Dutkiewicz was forced to leave the Warped Tour so he could fully recover from his back surgery and continue daily physical therapy. He was replaced by Killswitch's guitar technician Josh Millick for select songs, until his return on August 14, 2007.
Second self-titled album 2007 to 2011.
Killswitch Engage entered the studio in October 2008 to start recording their next album, with Dutkiewicz and Brendan O'Brien co-producing the album. In mid-February, bassist Mike D'Antonio confirmed in an interview with Metal Hammer that drums were finished, and that he had finished up the last few bass fixes. He also stated that Howard is in Atlanta finishing vocals, and that it shouldn't be too much longer now. From March to May, Killswitch Engage was a part of Disturbed's Music as a Weapon Fall festival along with Lacuna Coil, Chimera, Suicide Silence, Bury Your Dead and more. On April 14, the band announced the name of their album as Killswitch Engage, the second time the band has self-titled an album. The album was released on June 30, 2009, debuting at number 7 on the Billboard 200, marking the band's highest chart position for an album. In July and August, Killswitch Engage took part in Mayhem Festival with headliners Marilyn Manson, Slayer, Bullet for My Valentine and others. In February 2010, Killswitch Engage announced that vocalist Howard Jones would not be performing with Killswitch Engage during their winter tour with The Devil Wears Prada and Dark Tranquillity. During the time, All That Remains vocalist Philip Labonte was substituting for Jones until he could return. At least one source speculated that Jones' hiatus was due to back pain. On March 18, 2010, original vocalist Jesse Leach returned to the band for a series of songs. From then on, Leach and Labonte performed as substitute vocalists for the remainder of the tour. In 2010, the band contributed the track My Obsession to the God of War, Blood and Metal soundtrack. The band was later added as late replacement to 2010's Download Festival in June, after original sub-headliner, Wolfmother could not attend as scheduled. Afterward, Killswitch Engage took a break from the road, and its members pursued other interests. Adam Dutkiewicz formed the band Times of Grace with Leach and released the debut album The Hymn of a Broken Man on January 18, 2011. Along with Dutkiewicz and Leach, Times of Grace added Joel Stroetzel to their tour lineup. Justin Foley provided the drum tracking for the band Unearth on their new album Darkness in the Light, released on July 5, 2011. Foley will also travel with the band for their 2011 summer tour. D'Antonio started the hardcore band Death Ray Vision, with Shadows Fall vocalist Brian Fair and former Killswitch Engage guitarist Pete Cortese.
Return of Leach and Disarm the Descent 2011 to 2014.
In an interview with Ron Jeremy, Gun-Shy Assassin, Mike D'Antonio had stated that the band was currently in the works for a 6th studio album. D'Antonio stated, "Currently, everyone is individually writing demos for the next Killswitch Engage record. There is no release date yet, but I would assume it will be out early 2012. Adam Dutkiewicz followed that up with a statement on the Killswitch Engage Facebook, saying "Yo. It's Adam D. We're about to begin writing our new record. Thanks to all of our fans for waiting so friggin' patiently. Now let's turn on the riff faucet, and rage." On December 1, 2011, Mike D'Antonio posted online that Killswitch Engage should be entering the studio around February-March 2012 to record their sixth album expected around summer 2012. He also stated that the band had 8 demos finished for the new record. On January 4, 2012, the band announced via the band's official website, along with their other official sources, that Howard Jones had left the band after his 9-year membership with them. In the statement, the band did not disclose the reason for this decision out of respect for Jones, but simply thanked him for his 9 years with the band and wished him well as thanking the fans for their support as they began the search for a new lead singer. Soon after the announcement of Jones's departure, rumors began that Phil Labonte of All That Remains would officially take over lead vocals due to his previous history with the band, although Labonte quickly dispelled the rumor. The band's search for a new singer concluded in February with the announcement that original lead vocalist Jesse Leach would return to the band, as the band felt that Leach's energy, as well as his overall comfort and command of both the old and new material, made him the clear choice during auditions. Since Leach's return, the band continued to the process of recording their new album and touring. On April 22, 2012, the band performed Leach's first show since 2002 at the New England Metal and Hardcore Fest. On June 20, 2012, the demo version of a new song titled This Is Confrontation was leaked on YouTube. Not long after the song was leaked, the users faced copyright strikes and the videos were soon deleted. Later, the band took part in Metal Hammer's Trespass America Festival headlined by Five Finger Death Punch with additional support from God Forbid, Emia, Pop Evil, Trivium and Battlecross. The band performed this song live, confirming the song's title No End in Sight. Not long after the album was confirmed, the song was streamed publicly again. In October 2012, with Jesse back at the helm, Killswitch Engage announced they would be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of their seminal album, Alive or Just Breathing, with a US tour through November-December 2012, in which they would be playing the album live, in its entirety. Support on the tour came from fellow Massachusetts natives Shadows Fall and Acaro. The new album Disarm the Descent was released April 1, 2013 in the UK. The album debuted at number 15 in the UK charts while debuting at number 7 in the Billboard Top April 2 200 in the US. The first single In Due Time was released on February 5, 2013. The album has received critical acclaim from reviewers, and has been labeled as a true standout, and nothing short of amazing. It was announced in December 2013 that In Due Time was nominated for Best Metal Performance at the 2014 Grammy Awards, but lost to God Is Dead? By Black Sabbath.
Musical style and lyrical themes.
Killswitch Engage plays a genre considered metalcore, combining sounds from extreme metal and hardcore. Like some modern metalcore bands, Killswitch Engage vocally combine both singing, screaming vocals, growls in their music. Killswitch Engage's music mixes crushing riffs, double bass drum patterns, power chords, dual guitar harmonies, often punctuated with pinch harmonic squeals in their music and breakdowns that one can expect from the metalcore genre. Their music is influenced by Gothenburg metal scene and thrash metal. In 2009, MTV, while naming the greatest metal bands of all time, referred to Killswitch Engage as one of the founders of metalcore. Jason D. Taylor of Almasix said Alive or Just Breathing is a pure metal album that seemingly has ignored any fashionable trend and instead relies solely on skill and expertise to sculpt some of the meatiest heavy metal since the glory days of Metallica and Slayer. Both current vocalist Jesse Leach and former vocalist Howard Jones write lyrics that are considered positive. Jesse Leach stated on Set This World Ablaze that the lyrics contain unity, positivity, love. On the lyrical themes of Killswitch Engage, Ultimate Guitar Reviewer Amy Cioretto notes. On Killswitch Engage's 2009 self-titled album, Howard Jones states the change in lyrical themes.
Discography.
Killswitch Engage, 2000, Alive or Just Breathing, 2002, The End of Heartache, 2004, As Daylight Dies, 2006, Killswitch Engage, 2009, Disarm the Descent, 2013.